Okay, so this video is for those of you out there who are considering a career selling insurance with New York Life. What I'm going to give you in the next 5 to 10 minutes is a rough overview of what you can expect working with New York Life from the perspective of an independent agent. You may not know what that means. That means I'm not married to one particular company, but many. But the purpose of this video is to kind of give you another perspective behind the insurance business. Maybe you're just looking at New York Life and you're just looking into the insurance business as a whole. So my hope is as you watch this video, you'll gain a greater understanding, not just of how New York Life works and some of their main focal points that may make sense or not for you, but also the grander vision of the insurance business. So again, you can do your due diligence to see what's out there and see which type of organization is going to be the best fit along with the best product lineup. Number one, recruiting versus producing. One of the things that's a little alarming for a lot of people getting into the insurance business is the preponderance of the MLM, multi-level marketing culture that reigns in a lot of different organizations. What I mean by MLM is there's a big, heavy impetus by many agencies to push recruiting over producing. They show off their stuff as opposed to their skill set development to help you become top producer. And while New York Life isn't like this across the board, I've had agents tell me that they kind of get that sense with certain sub-agencies or regionals that they join that push more of the recruiting style of building an agency instead of the producing skill set development style. So one thing you want to ask when you look at New York Life or really any agency is what's your preference when it comes to looking at recruiting for a new agent to do versus producing. In other words, how much are they going to push recruiting on you as a core competency to develop in you? If you're into the multi-level marketing side of things, it might be perfect for you if that's what that sub-agency or organization desires. But if you really want to learn how to sell insurance, you want to learn the craft of selling insurance, and you're joining an organization that instead pushes recruiting and recruiting people to recruit people, you just might not be in the right organization. And anytime there's this dissonance between the values of the organization, what your values are, there's likely going to be a clash somewhere. And you might find this wonderful career of insurance sales just doesn't manifest to the capability that you want. So long story short, as you interview with New York Life, make sure you're asking about recruiting, where in the hierarchy or scheme of things recruiting becomes important, if at all, and then decide if that agency is really a good fit for you or not based on what you want. Number two, warm market versus buying leads. So one of the things that New York Life really has impressed, and this is kind of a thing with a lot of different types of what I would call career agencies, a couple come to mind like Mass Mutual, Guardian, etc., is there's a big push for new agents to work their warm markets. So what's a warm market? Well, a warm market is friends, family, business associates, etc., people that you know personally on some level that you can approach to show them what you do, how you can help them with the hopes of selling them some kind of insurance policy. This is the classic way to sell insurance. It's not cold calling, it's warm calling. So you're dealing with people that will be more likely to listen to you. And it's likely easier to sell because it's almost like a referral. People buy from people they like and trust. And this methodology has been proven to work many, many times over in many different organizations and companies. And this is a very common way for new agents to get started in the business that don't have a network or a strategy in developing leads. Of course, for some of you, if you're like me, this is the last thing you would want. I never wanted to work my family and friends for business because I separate business from pleasure. I don't want to mix up my family with what I do and possibly cause a rift. So as a new agent, I didn't really spend any time selling my friends or family until maybe 6-12 months in at a minimum. Instead, what I did, what many agents now do these days, is I purchased leads. I ran appointments in person or over the phone. You can do both in this business, sell over the phone remotely or in person the traditional way. But I didn't develop those leads from people who I know, who are my friends or family or etc. I just bought leads and ran them because I felt like separating family from business was a better idea long term. And I also got the ability to learn the business on people who weren't family. So by the time that I would sell insurance to my family, I felt more confident and competent. So why does this all matter? Well, you have to decide for yourself what type of marketing and lead generation strategy really works for your personality. For some people, they have no problem whatsoever working friends or family or their sphere of influence. And if you're looking at New York Life, expect that to be what you're going to do the vast majority of the time as a new agent. However, if you don't like that strategy, if it kind of just like turns your stomach or you've like disassociated with people that pushed and pushed and pushed to try to sell you something and you don't want to do the same, then I would recommend doing your due diligence, looking at other agencies, because many of them don't focus on this is called a Project 100 strategy or the friends and family methodology. Instead, what they focus on is buying leads, running appointments, and developing sales, not from your family or friends, so that you can keep business and pleasure separate. Number 3, white collar versus blue collar prospects. So my perspective, and again, I've never worked at New York Life, but this is the perspective that I have with most people who do work at New York Life, is they tend to target an upper crust, top 10% of income earner type of market. Now, this isn't across the board through and through, but a lot of people that are approached for New York Life products are doctors, surgeons, architects, accountants, etc. And these are great prospects. They've got money, they've got problems that life insurance and insurance products can solve. They have needs for long-term care, annuities, etc. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Many of the times, though, it's harder to get in front of those prospects just because there's more barriers to entry. But this is something that you got to be comfortable with if you get into the New York Life model, selling people that are doing pretty well in the top 10% of life. The good news is that if for some reason that's off-putting to you, or it's not what you really want to start with from a marketing standpoint, there's so many different opportunities in the insurance business to target the gray collar, the blue collar markets, the senior markets, etc. There's a lot of different niches you can specialize in, and you can find work doing business and even the lower income groups of people than what you would do maybe say in the white collar type of the business. So for example, I specialize in final expense insurance. That's what I've sold as an agent. That's what I recruit agents to sell. And that is predominantly a blue collar market. We're talking about people who are salt of the earth. They worked in a line in a manufacturing plant somewhere. You know, they never really were managers or anything like that. They're just kind of good blue collar people that retired, didn't have enough money to pay for final expenses, and want a policy to protect their loved ones and give peace of mind. The nice thing about blue collar markets is there's a ton of prospects. There's millions of prospects, for example, in the final expense market. So when it comes to prospecting, finding leads, like a lot of insurance agents, we don't have the same difficulty that say the white collar types do, because there are tried and true cookie cutter methods to generate leads to get in front of prospects so that we can present our wares, win their trust, and close deals. So deciding what niche you want to be in is really important. So when you talk to your New York Life representative, ask them kind of where they would put you, what kind of market you would target, and then really ask yourself, is that niche something you're comfortable with? And if it's not, do your due diligence, find another agency, and you're likely to find that there are plenty of opportunities out there that more match what it is you're looking to accomplish. And one more thing I'll say here, the insurance business is awesome. If you're looking to get into this business, it is so great. The money opportunity, the freedom opportunity to help people with good products that actually make a great difference in their life is real. But the problem, and why so many agents, probably 90% of agents plus, fail out in the first year, is they don't do their due diligence. They rush into love. They don't vet who they're recruiting with. They don't vet the organization they're joining. They don't ask themselves, what do they really want out of this business? So they jump into the first thing they see, realize it doesn't match their personality and desires, and fail out many times, have a chip on their shoulder thinking the business is a racket. Not that it's always wrong. Sometimes it is with certain organizations. But the important point I'm trying to make here is you got to slow down, do your due diligence, understand there's a lot of organizations that want to recruit you, and your job is to find the one that best matches what your goals are. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see what we do in the insurance sales business, visit davidduford.com. We train and recruit agents to sell final expense, Medicare, annuities, and ACA. It's a great market. We're predominantly in the senior market, and you can go to that website, davidduford.com, to learn more if what we do is a good fit for you. Thank you for watching. See ya.